lovely morning children. Myself Sarita Chaudhary, TGT Science teacher from St. Joseph Public School, Town. Children, in your previous classes in 6th and 7th standard, you read a lot about the natural fibers. In your 6th standard, you had detailed studies about the plant fibers, cotton and jute. And in your 7th standard, you read about the animal fibers, wool and silk in detail. And in 8th standard, in this beginning of this chapter number 3, we had detailed study about the synthetic fibers, their types and properties. After knowing all the information about the synthetic and natural fibers, now at the end of the chapter, we are able to differentiate the synthetic and natural fibers. So in today's video, we are going to cover that part by recalling our previous knowledge, the knowledge which we have already gained about the synthetic and natural fibers. We will try to differentiate them on certain points, on certain criteria. Let's start with it. The first difference between the synthetic and natural fibers is the synthetic fibers are man-made fibers. They are synthesized in the factories or in the laboratories by using petrochemicals, air or water. But on the other hand, the natural fibers, they are obtained naturally either from plant sources or from the animal sources. The second difference is the synthetic fibers are strong and doesn't break easily, and the best example of it is the nylon fiber. हमने बात की थी इस बारे में that nylon fiber is stronger than steel thread. एक steel के thread से भी ज़्यादा strong होता है nylon fiber, and that is the reason it is generally used in the manufacturing of parachutes, जहाँ पे भी load bearing जो और ऑब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं उनमें जनरली हम सिंथेटिक फाइबर्स को यूज करते हैं. बट दीज नेचुरल फाइबर्स दे आर वीक एंड कैन ब्रेक इजीली. ये इजीली ब्रेक हो जाते हैं, वीक होते हैं, इतनी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होती, स्ट्रेंथ प्रेशर नहीं होती. दैट इज द रीजन इफ यू यूज द कॉटन फैब्रिक्स, आप कॉटन के अगर ड्रेसेस पहन रहे हैं तो दे आर जनरली यूजफुल फॉर 1 or 2 सीजन्स ओनली. आफ्टर 2 or 3 सीजन्स इफ यू ट्राई टू यूज देम दे विल स्टार्ट डैमेजिंग. वो थोड़ी सी इजीली वेयर एंड टियर हो जाती हैं because the natural fibers are not as strong as the synthetic fibers. The third difference is that synthetic fibers are generally wrinkle free. In fact, wrinkles नहीं आते easily, crease नहीं आते easily, and that is the reason that students, your uniforms are generally made up of the synthetic fibers, because we need such a fabric for a student's uniform that can be used in rough and tough way, जिसको हम rough tough way में use कर सके, जिसको हमें gradually ironing की requirement ना हो, right? But synthetic fibers, they can get creased and crushed easily, and they require frequent ironing. इनको बार बार after every wash they need to be ironed. इनको हमें ironing करनी पड़ती है. The fourth difference is the synthetic fibers are durable and easy to maintain. लॉन्ग लास्टिंग होते हैं, काफी लंबे टाइम तक उनको यूज कर सकते हैं, इजीली डैमेज नहीं होते और इनको ज्यादा हमें मेंटेनेंस करने की भी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती. बट ऑन द अदर हैंड नेचुरल फाइबर्स दे आर नॉट ड्यूरेबल एंड एक्सपेंसिव टू मेंटेन. इनको अगर हमें मेंटेन करना है, प्रॉपर इनकी टेक केयर करनी है तो उसके लिए हमें थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंसिव होता है. वो नेचुरल फाइबर्स को तो हम सिंथेटिक फाइबर्स को हम रफ एंड टफ वे के अंदर यूज कर सकते हैं. The next difference is that synthetic fibers doesn't absorb much water and dries quickly. ये जल्दी से ड्राई हो जाते हैं, ज्यादा वाटर को, मॉइस्चर को ये एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करते हैं. बट natural fibers, they absorb a lot of water and take longer time to get dry. इनको सूखने में बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगता है in the comparison of the synthetic fibers. The next difference is that synthetic fibers are resistant to moths and insects. इन पे moths और insects easily attack नहीं कर पाते, they cannot eat them away. But natural fibers, they are not resistant to moths and insects. And the best example which we can discuss here is about the woolen fabrics. Whenever at the end of the winter season, when we again store our woolen fabrics in almirahs, what we do, we have to use the naphthalene balls. हमें कपूर की जो balls होती हैं, naphthalene balls होती हैं, वो रखनी पड़ती है उनके अंदर, because naphthalene it works as a repellent to the moths and insects. ये moths और insects को दूर रखने का काम करता है. Otherwise, if we don't use the naphthalene balls or proper protection to the woolen fabrics, they can be easily eaten by the moths and insects. The next difference is that synthetic fibers can be dyed easily in a variety of colors. इनको बहुत से अलग अलग कलर्स में हम easily dye कर सकते हैं. But as we know that natural fibers are naturally present in the brown color, in the cream color, in the white color, in the black color. But if we need to dye them in different colors, that is not so easy process. The process is it takes a lot of time. काफी time consuming हो जाता है वो process. The next one is that synthetic fibers doesn't fade on washing. इनको हम कितनी भी बार वॉश करते रहें easily इनका कलर फेड नहीं होता, इनका कलर डल नहीं पड़ता. But this is a common experience which we all feel in our day-to-day life that natural fibers after washing them 2 or 3 times the color starts getting fade. इनका कलर धीरे धीरे फेड होना, डल होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. That's why we are saying continuously that the cotton cloth generally या जो भी हम नेचुरल फाइबर्स की यूज की बात कर रहे हैं, फैब्रिक्स की बात कर रहे हैं, दे कैन बी यूज प्रॉपरली इन द बेटर गुड कंडीशन फॉर 1 or 2 सीजन हार्डली. से इतने टाइम के उनको हम यूज कर पाते हैं, उसके बाद वो डैमेज भी होना स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं एंड उनका कलर भी धीरे धीरे फेड होना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. डल कलर्ड फैब्रिक्स दे डजंट लुक नाइस एट ऑल टू व्यू, वो पहनने में बिल्कुल भी अच्छे नहीं लगते हैं. The next one is the last point of the difference between the synthetic and natural fiber, that is synthetic materials made of these fibers, they are cheaper, they are not so expensive, they can be easily purchased by each and every person. But on the other hand these natural fibers, materials made of these fibers are costly, and the best example over here is the silk. Silk is a natural fiber which is obtained from silkworms, and silkworm से जो silk obtain होता है that is very expensive, काफी costly होता है. तो silk के जो भी हम मार्केट में फैब्रिक्स परचेज करेंगे, जो भी हम उनसे बने हुए ऑब्जेक्ट परचेज करते हैं, they are quite expensive. But silk, artificial silk, what is called as artificial silk? Rayon is called as the artificial silk because it looks like silk. इसका जो texture होता है, इसकी जो shine होती है, that is equivalent to the silk. But rayon is an synthetic fiber, so that is not so expensive. वो expensive नहीं होता, cheap है and looks like the fabric of the silk. So these are the differences between the synthetic and natural fibers, and now we can say that we have winded up our chapter number 3 of science, synthetic fibers and plastics. See you in our next video. We'll start with a new chapter. Till then, thanks for watching.